welcome back to 5 Minute Game Reviews with me, Gardner, where I rant and rave about whatever game I just finished on stream last week. Today, we're talking about Infamous Second Son. I love this game. Well, I wouldn't say love. Love is a very strong word, and that fits into like my top 5. This is more like a top 20 games of all time. This game just has a right mix of story, adventure, open worldness, and a unique playstyle that just, I haven't really experienced this in any other game. I think the closest thing that comes to it is maybe Miles Morales and Spider-Man, the game. Infamous Second Son is about Delsin, a man who, he's on the verge of ending up in prison. Like, his just whole nature is just, he's the bad boy who likes to spray paint on walls, and he's all about the anarchy, and he just seems like he's just one step away from landing himself into prison. Like, he's on the teetering edge of like landing himself into prison or going to college and getting a good education. He's like right there. Delsin he got himself mixed up into biomutant stuff. The biomutants were breaking out of prison. They ended up in his hometown, and Delsin learned that he was a conduit. He gained some powers. He didn't want them anymore, so he goes on a long journey to try and get rid of them, finding out that he actually kind of likes the powers, but it comes with a whole lot of setbacks.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
There's a whole organization out there called the DUP that just wants to imprison all biomutants and do secret weapons technologies on them. So Delsin's not all about that. He just wants to have a great time and free everybody. But the biomutants came to his town and changed his whole life for the better? Worse? I don't really know, because this game has 2 endings, and having 2 endings be based on your karmic value, determining on whether you did good or bad stuff throughout the game, it changes the playstyle so much. Because sometimes it'll throw situations at you like, should you kill the terrorists or should you free the biomutants? And that will set you on a path that gives you a different ending. I mean, it's only 2 endings. Let's talk powers. Because Infamous Second Son has some of the greatest powers I've seen in video games, next to like Kratos in God of War or Spider-Man. It's just, the powers in this game just feel so good to use, and just how you acquire them is just a unique experience that I haven't felt this in any other video game. So he gains their powers. So along the story, we meet a bunch of other biomutants. We meet Abigail, a neon user who uses her neon powers to, I don't think she uses them to like fight enemies. It's just more of like she uses them to be a stalker. Or we meet Eugene, a person, a NEET or a shut-in, who uses his powers to play video games and brings his creations to life. Delsin uses these powers he obtains these powers and he uses them throughout his journey to deal with all the bad guys in the game. The powers that he gets are so unique because it's not just one power. It's not just, oh, here's a power and use it. It's more of, he absorbs his power throughout the environment. So if he wants to use the neon power, he has to absorb neon light. Or if he wants to use the video power, he has to absorb something off of like a television. Along with the powers, you also have your upgrade abilities. Your upgrades, well, not upgrade abilities, your upgrades. So you have a tech, so like 90% of all video games, you have a tech tree. And in this tech tree, you get to assign skill points to your different powers that you gain. You can use your power, you can use the skill points to upgrade basic powers, and then you have your karmic powers. That's what I call them. I guess they're like your evil or your good powers, where if you are playing the game and you're certain percentage of good or you're a certain percentage of bad, the game will physically block you from choosing like an evil power, where maybe one power might just instantly kill whoever you're targeting, or the power will switch to something like a subdue. So you're not killing, you're more of just subduing, knocking them out. They're just chilling there, and they'll wake up in a couple of hours with a broken spine. Along with your powers, the enemies that you generally will fight are like every other enemy in the game. You have your normal brutes, you have your normal grunts, you have your super strong enemies. Everybody has guns, so you're just getting shot at 90% of the time. And you also have your photon blasters, or your smoke blaster, or even throwing rocks at people. Boss fights, there aren't really any boss fights. They're more like, there's one boss fight, but that's at the very end. I'm not gonna spoil anything about the ending. I want you guys to go play it. This game is a PS4 exclusive, meaning that the only way you can play it is if you have a PlayStation. So I feel like I've said this before, but I'm not a fangirl. But do you get a PS4 or a PS5? Question of the day. If you have any recommendations like Second Son, I would love to hear it in the description below. If you've played Second Son before, have you enjoyed it? Did you like the game? Do you have any tips, tricks, spoilers that you want to talk about it? Talk about it in the description below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also hit that like button so that the video can be good. I don't really know all this YouTube stuff. Just go do the things YouTubers tell you to do. And I'll see you guys in the next video.